You had that little taste with the Toronto Blue Jays a little while back. What did that do for you, regardless of any of the results, just to have that taste, to have that kind of like, okay, I'm here in the show right now?
Yeah, no, it was good. Good learning experience. Excited to get back if I get the opportunity, and really just learn from what happened, and hopefully it can kickstart everything else that's hopefully ahead of my career.
You've heard so many guys that have been up, even for that short stint, and they come back down and they say that, next time I go up, it will be so different because now I've experienced it before. Are you able to take enough out of those two starts, that when you do go back, it'll be like, okay, this is like old school now for me?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you're still going to get jitters. I get nervous for every start. I think it's just human. Yeah, I think it'll be a little bit easier on the nerves. Kind of like I've been there before, like you said. And a lot of the guys up there are helping out with that. Everyone was always offering to help with whatever was going on. So, it was nice. It's a good group up there, and a lot of good guys. And hopefully I get a chance to go back.
Outside of the norm, Sean, what's the number one difference between AAA and the majors? It can be game. It can be, Barry always talks about the food. But what's the major difference?
I'd say there's more eyes on you at all times. There's always a camera on you. So you really have to be not just thinking in the moment. You got to think about everything else that's going on. Whether it's something you're doing or whether you're playing catch outside, someone's always watching type stuff. So yeah, I would say that's the biggest difference.
Be able to pitch to any of those guys up there would be cool, but when you take the mound and all of a sudden it's Danny Jansen behind home plate, you've got the familiarity with him. How cool was that for you?
Very nice. Seeing him back there right before the first pitch at KC, he had his mask off and he gave me his little Danny Jansen smirk, so that helped a little bit. But no, he's tearing it up there, and Russ and Luke are helping him a lot with the different pitchers, and so it's pretty cool seeing the older guys help out Danny. And but no, I'm happy for him. He's doing a great job.
I'm sorry, but we got to take a little bit of credit for what happened as far as the call-ups go.
Oh, my God, here we go.
A couple weeks ago, we're down here in Buffalo. We had an interview lined up with you, and we had one with Danny. We got the interview with Danny, and then he gets called up that same day. And then we didn't know where you were, getting treatment or something. It turns out you were getting called up as well. So just remember that we've got this kind of karma going right now with you guys.
Yeah, you probably should have asked for another one yesterday.
Well, we're here now, right?
But, no, it's pretty cool that you guys that happened. But no, I knew Danny was coming up probably about an hour into my drive, and so no, it was pretty cool to I let him be, obviously, because I was going to see him up in Toronto in the hotel. But no,
okay, you knew when you were going up that he was getting called up, and yet he's still playing in the game.
Yeah.
My God. So, just to know that when you get yanked from a game, you never know what's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
But how was when you got the call, when you went into the office, what was that conversation like? Because you're always thinking maybe in the back of your mind, okay, maybe there's a chance I'm going to get called up at some point. But how does that happen when you sit down with Meach or whomever it is, and they're like, dude, you're going to the big leagues?
Yeah, so me and Steam were actually kind of messing with each other in the training room, and he walked down the hall, and he came back, and he seemed like he was kind of mad, I guess because of whatever I said to him, messing with him, and he was in the office right now, and I was like, well, I guess I'm in trouble. And no, and then he sat down, and Meach said, hey, we're going to push you back a day. I said, okay, that's cool. I'll pitch in Charlotte, and then I'll pitch in Gwinnett, because I had a lot of family and friends coming to Gwinnett. And he goes, yeah, you're pitching in Kansas City. And I said, that's kind of whenever I gave him a huh? Like a what? And he said, yeah. He's like, you're a big leaguer, kid. And so that's how it happened.
So what's the first thought on the mound? They always have, the Hollywood movie where, the guy walks out at first start. But is there something that you took away from the first step out onto the mound and you're thinking, okay, got to stop for 15 seconds and go, whoa, and this is what you thought?
Yeah, just throw a strike. honestly.
Okay, simple.
Yeah, that was really it. But no, I mean, Pete Walker out in the bullpen told me, he's like, how long you been playing the game? And I was like, since 3.5 years old. And he goes, all right, it's the same game. He's like, that really helped. And then Gibby, after the start, he called me in the office and he was like, how'd it go? And I was like, I don't know. I was like, didn't you watch? And he's like,
oh, he'll like you right away now.
And he's like, yeah. He's like, I watched. What do you think I'm doing in the dugout? And I was like, well, I mean, 5 innings, just threw one bad pitch, and then I walked the guy with bases loaded. And he goes, yeah, exactly. He's like, all right, let's get ready for the next one. I was like, yeah, of course. So yeah, no, it was good though, hearing those from those guys.
So you talked to Gibby without his translator?
Yeah, no, I understand Gibby. Yeah, he's from the South.
You know, it's interesting because you have so many players in the Blue Jays system whose dads played Major League Baseball. You, on the other hand, grew up in a military family. Your dad was in the Coast Guard. You were born in Guam. What was that experience like as a kid? Because I imagine you had to move around a lot.
Yeah, no, so I moved only 3 times. And then we settled down in Jacksonville whenever I was about 3, and just been there since. I still live there now. And but yeah, no, it's pretty cool that he was able to be on a ship all that time for 30 years and loved what he did. And now he's working as a head maintenance guy at the National Park Service, so he's enjoying himself again.
So then why baseball? Why not football? Why not something else? What about
Why not the
baseball?
military?
Why not military?
One, I watched what my dad go through, and I didn't feel like traveling that much to different towns. And 2, I wanted to be just like my brother, and he played baseball.
And, you know, you had a teammate here in Chris Rowley who actually served. Did you guys have any interesting conversations about, you know, your dad and him and the fact that, you know, there's kind of a, you know, little interesting tie in between them?
Yeah, I mean, we would talk about it every once in a while, but it was kind of just, it's one of those things. I understand that he never wanted to really talk about it. And obviously, whenever my dad would come in town and stuff, and he would talk to Chris, they would talk for a long time, but I would never get in their conversations because, I mean, that's a different ball game. But no, I let Chris do his thing because I know he was always getting asked questions about it. So I didn't really pick his brain about it much because a lot of guys did. And I, just like everybody else, I have the utmost respect for Chris and what he did for our country. And same with my dad and everybody else that served. So I just let him be.
So back to pitching for a second. If you're playing and you're throwing to a catcher that you've never thrown to before, are you more prone to let that catcher call the game, or is there a lot of shakeoffs? How do you approach, say, pitching to someone that you've never had, you know, on the other end of the ball?
Yeah, I mean, usually the first 2 innings you're kind of shaking to certain things, and then they kind of get a gist of what's going on or like how you want to pitch. And then the catcher also has the best view of the game. So I mean, if they see something that's working for you and they start calling it more, then you catch on to it and you go with it. I mean, you don't if you're always fighting with it, I mean, it's probably not going to work out that well. But yeah, no, you run with it and just go for the best. I mean, they obviously care about you back there and they want the best for you. So it's not like you're against the world, you know.
Being the youngest, I think it was 4 kids in your family, right? Was baseball always in your life? I know your brother played at Mercer, but was that something that was always something that the group of you guys always did growing up?
I mean, Emily, that's my sister right older than me. She swam, but she also played softball a little bit. And then Hannah, she's gonna yell at me.
Oh, do it! That's it. Go down that road.
She just was in the band.
She was like a band geek, a band nerd.
No, I'm not gonna answer that.
Okay.
We're both musicians here, Matt and I, so you know, we can take it.
She was second chair. She was never first chair. I'll let her have that one though. But no, growing up, we lived in a cul-de-sac, so I mean, we always played like wiffle ball, tennis, baseball, football, basketball, all in the cul-de-sac. So I mean, growing up with my brother's friends and my friends, we played all the sports. So I mean, but recreational wise, we always played baseball, yeah, and basketball.
So tell me about your sister Emily. I have a daughter named Emily. She's 2, and she's fierce. If she doesn't understand it, she torches it. She's just the most fierce spark plug. Is there a similarity between Emily's?
Yeah, Emily's a character. I'll say that, to say the least. She's actually at Florida State right now. Just started classes, but no, she's awesome though. She's just like that. Oh man,
I love this
I can't say much on the air. So.
Well, let's talk about David. Did you pitch to him when he was catching? Did you guys? I mean, even just on the side, was he a guy that you threw to a lot?
Yeah, I still throw to him actually in the off season. So he'll catch my bullpens before spring and all that, and we play long toss and all that throwing programs. So yeah, I mean, David's always been there, and I mean, like, whenever he got converted into a pitcher, I would catch him also too. So I mean, we've always been together with all that type of stuff. Whenever he finally moved back to Jacksonville,
we talked about what it meant for you to get the call up. What about the family? What was it like when you either texted or called your parents or talked to your brothers and sisters to say, "Hey, I made it"? What do you remember about those conversations?
Yeah, no, it was pretty awesome. Pretty emotional too. Mom was very excited. But my mom and my sisters were over in Ireland at the time, so they weren't able to make it back. But my dad was very ecstatic, and my brother was kind of lost for words. But yeah, no, I mean, it's kind of what you expect. I mean, they're all very excited, and they don't really know what's going on at the same time, but they do know what's going on, type of thing. So it was awesome.
You're totally being. Look at this guy.
Oh, Steamer.
He's not even looking at
Hey,
it.
did you ever ask Steamer about the time that he was on the mound for the Red Sox and everyone blames the ball through the legs to Bill Buckner, but had Steamer not hit a guy and walked a guy before, there would have been no runs scored? Did you ever talk to him about that? Because I have.
No.
Uh-oh.
Did you know that?
Yeah, I know that. My family's from Massachusetts. I know all about it. But no, I don't ever bring it up because that's like the one thing that he's known for, even though he had one of the best careers you could ever have in the big leagues. But no, he's a great guy if you actually get to know him. And so no, I never really talked to him about that. I just talked to him about pitching and stuff like that. So
I'm going to take a guess here and say that one of the best things about being part of the Blue Jays organization right now is that you probably will never have to pitch to Vladimir Guerrero.
No, I pitched to him in spring 3 times, and obviously it's spring, so he's a little, like, the hitters are a little behind. But no, I mean, he's a heck of a ball player, man. I mean, you see it on the field every day. Yeah, he's still young. A lot of people like to say that, but he's very old for his age. But no, I mean, great teammate, great human being, nicest, humblest kid I've ever met in my life. And he's always smiling, you know. He always wants to be out in the game and playing, and he wants to be a part of the team. And if he doesn't have a smile, I know he's smiling inside, type of thing. So he's awesome.
If there was a batter in the majors that you'd love to say, gotcha, who is it?
I think it's a double-edged sword, and it's Mike Stanton, because he already got me and I got him. But
Did you just tip your cap when he?
Yeah, I mean he hit it, but yeah, no, I'd say Mike Stanton. But like I said, he got me, and after I got him, so it's pretty fair right now.
There's actually a really cool thing happening right now in this organization, and here in AAA, in AA New Hampshire, and right now with the Toronto Blue Jays organization, is you got this core of young guys, yourself and Baraki and Jansen and Gurriel, and you got Biggio and Bichette. How much fun is this as a group of young guys all coming through the system together, knowing that it won't be long before you could all be on that same Blue Jays team?
Yeah, I mean, you also can't forget about, like, Pannone, you got Romano and all them, and guys here like Alfred and all them, and even Reese McGuire. I mean, it's unreal. We have a really good group, and with all the guys up top, helping all the young guys also. I mean, I don't know if it'll be next year, but maybe in 2 or 3 years we could be hopefully something.
Was that something that you and maybe Danny talked about a little bit before you got that call about one day? Well, wouldn't that be cool? You know, being at Rogers Center, and there I was on the mound throwing to you.
Yeah, so we talked about it probably in late June. We're like, dude, like what if we get called up together, like type thing, like, and we're pitching, like I'm throwing to you, and same with Reese, like what if we're all up there? But no, I mean, it's kind of crazy how it's kind of going in, like into place now, like how we're all kind of getting up there.
Okay, before we go, Matt's a big facial hair guy, so he's been wanting to ask you about the stash.
All right, man. You may have the most prodigious mustache in the Blue Jays organization. It's the best, like seriously.
Since Sal Fasano was around.
It's unbelievable. So, and that was my number one question. I'm like, forget the baseball stuff. So what's the deal, man? What's the deal with the stash?
So my dad, obviously in the military. And
Gotta keep it high and tight, right?
And he's always had a mustache, and that's how we kind of know. I mean, yeah, he'll grow a beard now here and there, but I mean, he's always had one. And one day, and I want to say in low A, in 16, I was like, man, we can only have goatees. Like, I'm gonna just have a mustache. Be like, whatever, like just be a little different. And I had a mustache, and everyone would like give me a kind of a hard time about it, but then like they'd always be like, I don't know how you pull it off. Like, it looks so bad, but it works. Type thing.
You know what? Honestly, and the world treats you differently because of the stash. The world
they think you're a
treats you
cop
differently,
or
man,
military, right?
It's true.
No, I've never gotten that. But no, I mean, whenever I was up there for the short time, the guys were always like kind of messing with me about it, but they were also like, hey,
It works,
it
dude.
fits you, like type thing. But no, it's good. Everyone likes it, and a lot of guys give me crap about it, but it's fun though.
Well, you know what you need when you go back to Toronto, you shave all the other stuff, keep the stash.
Yeah.
You got to get the stirrups going, man, because nothing goes better with a mustache than stirrups.
No.
Did you wear them in Little League?
No.
You never wore stirrups ever?
No, I always just wore socks.
Okay, well, I guess the stash is going to have to do. Hey, listen, it's been a lot of fun chatting with you. Wish you nothing but the most success. Can't wait to see you back up with the Blue Jays, and do something about turning up the heat here in Buffalo because it's bloody cold.
I appreciate it. Thank you for your time.